Hi girls, it's Tuesday, and today I'm going to be talking about Phantom. But first, I'm filming outside because it is such a pretty day, and that's why today is awesome. And today is not so awesome because... I don't know why today's not so awesome, it's just an awesome day. And now for everybody's favorite time, kitten time! Here she is! The winning favorite! So like I said, I'm going to be talking about Phantom today, and I'm going to be discussing why I like Michael Crawford better than Gerard Butler and everything. I'm not one of those fangirls that takes one side of the Gerard versus Michael argument because of some stupid reason. For example, oh my god, Gerard Butler is so sexy, he makes the perfect Phantom. Yeah, I have heard that argument, and really, you're stupid. I'm what you could call an expert. I have read books. I have read every book I can get my hands on. I have seen every single movie. I have seen the show 4 times. I have a necklace. I have a autographed picture of Michael Crawford that my boyfriend gave me. Thanks, Matt. I've got I saw Michael Crawford in concert in Mesa, Arizona a couple years ago, and that was really cool. Books-wise, I've read the original novel about, I don't even know how many times. I can't even count how many times I've read it. I've read this book twice as much as I've read the original novel, and it's called Phantom by Susan Kay, and it's an amazing book. It is probably like the most amazing Phantom book I have ever read. I'm an expert because I actually know who Eric is. I also know a bunch of facts that I bet you didn't know, like Eric is the Phantom of the Opera. The bottom of the opera house was used as a prison. In the scene of the masquerade ball in the original novel, it's in fact when Christine is breaking up with Raoul, not when they're announcing their secret engagement. Speaking of their secret engagement, it's actually not so secret. It's actually the Phantom's idea. Christine, I'm shocked you're doing this, and Christine's like, oh, Eric knows, it was his idea. Meg Giry is not the best dancer, and she's not really sweet. She's in fact kind of a bully, and she is described as a newborn calf when she dances. Madame Giry is actually a box keeper, which means she cleans the box. She cleans box 5. She's not the ballet director. One thing that bothers me about the musical movie and the musical, and I don't get why they couldn't just change it, is Meg and Christine's hair. It's actually supposed to be switched, and I can prove it. This is the original novel. In the chapter called The Enchanted Violin, in my book, this is on page 85. While the elder Daae was saying these things, Raoul gazed at Christine's blue eyes and golden hair. As Christine would think that little Lottie was very lucky to be hearing the angel of music as she was falling asleep. And then, in chapter 1, on page 29, in my book, it says, at once, little dark-eyed Giry with the jet black hair and swarthy complexion, the poor little skin stretched over those poor little bones, added, if it is the Phantom, he's awfully ugly. I rest my case. Now to get into the kind of touchy part. First off, let me say that I have been able to convert every single Gerard fan I've ever met into a Michael fan. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Gerard Butler as an actor. I liked him in P.S. I Love You and 300, but he completely screwed up the role of the Phantom. And it's not entirely his fault. It's really not. It's not entirely his fault. Part of it is the script, the makeup, and the directing. For example, is Eric's face. Eric's face is supposed to be like, oh my god, it's supposed to frighten you and scare you and everything like that. It's not supposed to be like, oh, well, we can just put some foundation over that and maybe get you some plastic surgery and you'll be fine. It's supposed to be like uncurable. And so his makeup bothers me. And also, it isn't consistent throughout the movie. If you watch, he'll wear a mask that covers just his eyes, and there's no deformity anywhere else on his face, and when he takes it off, it's completely on one side. So, watch that. It's really quite stupid, and I can't believe that they let that slip. Also, his voice isn't adequate. The Phantom's voice is supposed to be angelic and powerful, and oh my god, it's supposed to be the most amazing voice in the world, and Gerard Butler's just isn't that. He strains to hit those high notes, and you're not supposed to. Yeah, he doesn't have the voice for it. There's a scene where Carlotta is turned into a toad, and he's supposed to yell, she sings to bring down the chandelier while laughing, and they didn't put that in the movie, and I was very, very, very depressed. The torture chamber, which is the room of mirrors, is in the original novel, and it was my favorite part of the entire book. And I was really excited when it was in the movie. I was like, oh my god, it's the torture chamber, and then I was so disappointed because it was so stupid. It was so stupid, like, compared to the book. So I decided that it was too warm outside to film the rest of my video because I ran out of space on my memory card. So I moved inside because it's a lot cooler in here. So yeah, now I'm gonna explain why I like Michael Crawford as the Phantom and not Gerard. I like him better because in my mind he is the Phantom. He played him for so many years, and he actually like developed the character, and when he sang and portrayed that every night, he wasn't Michael Crawford, he was Eric. And he studied the character, and instead of just reading his lines, he actually went, how would Eric say this? And you know, it just seems like Gerard Butler just kind of went out there and did it, and I know that it's different doing it on stage and doing it in a movie, but I don't think that's much of an excuse. I think Michael's voice is probably the prettiest voice ever. He's so powerful, and you can hear him cry. You can hear him choke up and cry in this, and he cried every night. It wasn't like, oh, I just need to cry in these 3 takes. It was like he cried every single night for years, and I think that's so cool. And I saw him in concert, and I met him, and it was amazing hearing him talk about it, and hearing him talk about Phantom and how he first thought he was going to play Raoul, and then turned out he was playing the Phantom, and he loved everyone. I also have a great respect for the actors who play the Phantom now, and have played it since Michael, because I think they have to play the Phantom every night. They don't just get to do him for a couple days and take after take after take. They have to do it every single night, and I think it takes great bravery to do that, and they have to work really hard, and they have to become the Phantom. They can't just pretend for a couple scenes or a couple minutes. They have to do it every night, and they have to become him. They have to belt those high notes and those songs every night. They don't just get to do it in the studio once. And so, in the end, I think Michael Crawford and stage Phantoms are better than Gerard Butler because they've done a lot of work on the character, and they are a lot more like Eric than Gerard Butler is. So I know basically everything there is to know about Phantom of the Opera, and I had to really scale down what I want to talk about because I don't want this video to be like 15 minutes long. So I'm gonna have to stop now, but if you have any questions or any opinions, I'd be more than likely to hear them and debate or whatever. So Michael Crawford rules. Gerard Butler's not so good. The movie sucked.